For all the criticism that people level at Sky Television and its service, the one thing they never criticise is the remote control. Almost universally, everyone agrees that this is a really great remote control. It feels nice to use, all the buttons seem to be in the right place, and you can operate it easily in the dark and know what you're doing. It also enables you to control things like your television, and if you know what you're doing, your AV amplifier, but it can't control all your remotes. For that, you have to sometimes revert back to the original one. For example, if I want to change the aspect ratio, I have to press the button on my TV remote control, and then the only other button that I use on this one is to change it into free view every now and then when I'm recording 2 channels at once on Sky and want to watch something else. Now, on my AV receiver remote control, the vast majority of the time, all I ever do with that is turn it on and off and then control the volume using the Sky remote control. And then finally, this remote, I only use one button on it, and it's this one down at the bottom, 3D invert. This is when I'm watching 3D movies. If the left and right eye get mixed up, which they often do, you just have to press that to swap it over. So I'm using all these different remote controls, but in reality, I'm just using a total of about 5 buttons across those 3, and the rest of them I'm using on the Sky remote control. Now, you can of course get a universal remote control, but those are overkill in my opinion, because they control every button off all these remotes, and I don't need every button. As I said, I just need a handful of them. Now, I've tried universal remotes as well. I've tried Logitech ones and Philips Prontos and all sorts of things, but they're incredibly complex for other people in the house to use if they don't know what they're doing. Well, I finally found a solution, and it's this. It doesn't look very impressive. It's called the Secchi Slim. And it's a very simple and cheap universal remote control, but what this does differently, it doesn't pick up its remote codes from a code list. It actually lets you program each of these buttons individually using the original remote control's infrared signal. So for example, you point your original remote control at the device and tell it which button you want that signal to be emulated on. So I've got 6 buttons on here, and each of the 6 can control something different. So for example, the top button can turn on my AV amplifier, the next one down can operate the aspect ratio on my television, or change to free view, or change in between the different 3D modes on my home cinema projector, all on that one little remote. So all I need now is the original Sky remote for the vast majority of the buttons I need, and the Secchi Slim to control the remainder of buttons that I used off the other 3 remote controls. So after 10 minutes with the label printer, I got the buttons labelled up appropriately, and now for the vast majority of the time, instead of having these remote controls on the lounge table, I can get by with just these 2. Now, if you want to get hold of one of these, they cost only about £10, and I imported mine from a company on eBay that was in Lithuania, although the actual company that makes them is German, and the website address is on the screen now. So there you go, that's my simple solution for sorting out your remote control clutter on a budget. So for the moment, thanks for watching.